Welcome back to the Disturbed Chronicles. My name is Cams, and I'm glad you're here because today's video we're going to talk about a new case that's happening right now in California. This was actually a recommended video by a friend of mine, Sasha Nova. She also makes content related to astrology and wellness, so if you're interested in that stuff, make sure you check her out. She makes great content. She's here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So just last week, a 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel, reportedly went missing and hasn't been seen for over 8 days now. Emmanuel was reported missing on August 14th, and the whole situation is very interesting. Reports say Rebecca Harrow, who is the mother of Emmanuel, called and reported her 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel, missing after she was allegedly attacked and knocked unconscious outside of a Big Five store in Ucapia. Rebecca stated around 7:30 p.m. on August 14th, which was a Thursday, she was standing outside of her vehicle while attempting to change her son Emmanuel's diaper, and out of nowhere, an unknown man walked up to her. He said "Hola," and then he physically assaulted Rebecca and knocked her unconscious.
Someone said "Hola" to me, and that's all I remember. I woke up on this floor, panicking for my son because I couldn't find him.
When Rebecca woke up, her son Emmanuel was missing, and they called the police. So when the police arrived, they, of course, started an extensive search of the area. But according to the County Sheriff's Department press release, Rebecca has shown inconsistencies in her statement that she made initially to the police about what happened on August 14th when Emmanuel went missing. Rebecca actually declined to continue her interview with the police, and foul play cannot be ruled out at this time. This raises some suspicion. I mean, this is your child, an infant. How do you not remember what happened in that situation? And why wouldn't you want to cooperate with the police to make sure you can do everything you can to get your child home safe? The investigators have recently searched the family home of Rebecca and the father, Jake Harrow. Investigators have also reviewed security footage of the nearby area where Emmanuel was allegedly abducted. The family lawyer made a statement to clarify the Harrow family is still cooperating with investigators.
I can tell you that Jake and his wife have not slept. They have not ate. They are doing everything in their power to try to find their son. The major concern at this point is, how do you find your son when law enforcement has your vehicle? Law enforcement has every way that you can contact the outside world. How do they participate in the search? They're limited financial means, and it's very clear that their own community is going against them without any definitive evidence that they did anything wrong.
But the lawyer did confirm that Rebecca refused to take a polygraph test when the investigators requested it to her. Reportedly, she has been overwhelmed with emotion from her son being missing, which is completely understandable, but still kind of raises some red flags on the way Rebecca is choosing to handle this situation. The lawyer representing the father, Jake Harrow, in another case, which we will talk about shortly, he has mentioned that the community has completely went against this couple without any evidence of them being involved in foul play yet. Neither Rebecca or Jake have been charged with anything involving this case as of August 15th. But the father, Jake, does have some extremely alarming prior convictions. The father, Jake Harrow, is recently out on probation right now for an unrelated case. Jake was convicted back in 2021 and did 6 months in jail for child cruelty charges.
Court records show Jake pled guilty to child cruelty charges in a separate 2018 case out of Riverside County. He's currently on probation for those charges after he was convicted and jailed in 2023.
He is currently on probation for that case. He did not serve 4 years in state prison as being reported. He reached that deal through a plea agreement, so he did plead guilty. He acknowledged his role in that situation, and there was more than one person convicted. None of that has been relayed through the media whatsoever.
And these child cruelty charges are from another child of Jake's who was just 10 weeks old at the time. Jake Harrow was convicted for brutally beating his little girl, leaving her with lifelong injuries and the details of that case are absolutely heartbreaking.
The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation. We are told from this cousin that Promise has 3% brain function, that Promise needs a feeding tube, and that Promise will need round-the-clock care for the rest of her life.
Jake Harrow's wife at the time, Vanessa, was also charged and convicted, but that does not remove any of the blame from Jake. Jake should have been locked up and never let out again after doing such a disturbing thing to an innocent little girl. This is his own child, and he only did 6 months in jail for that. I will never understand why he was released.
In her hospital bed, 10 weeks old, she is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Harrow home, and she was adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her.
But this could be a reason why there was a miscommunication with whether the couple was cooperating or not, because Jake does have to move a certain way so that he does not violate his probation. However, I can definitely see why the community has went against them because Jake's past convictions. Now, just to clarify, Rebecca, Jake's current wife, has nothing to do with the child cruelty case and was not involved in that situation at all. The investigators did seize some of the electronics from the Harrows family home during the search, and the Harrows did surrender their phones, and a couple of iPads were also collected during the search. Their vehicles have also been seized from this investigation, so the Harrows are left with virtually nothing at this point. Rebecca made a statement on Friday after her son Emmanuel went missing, and she featured a black eye on her face, and she stated that she went to the Big Five store to get a mouth guard for her older son, and Rebecca said, "If you know anything, please come forward or take him to the cops." She said, "Please come back and bring my son back. I'm begging you." What do you guys think?
If you see anything or hear anything, please come forward. I'm begging you, please. Bring my son back to me.
Do you believe that was a sincere cry for help from a mother that's missing her infant child? The couple does have another child that has been removed from the home since this child is only 2 years old and is now staying with that same cousin of Vanessa, the previous wife, and she is caring for 3 of Jake's children at this time. One of them is an older 15-year-old boy. We have Promise, who we recently spoke about with her lifelong injuries from Jake, and now the 2-year-old child as well. So needless to say, at this point, it is not looking good for Rebecca or Jake. The Uvalde Foundation for Kids had said that they would conduct an independent search for the boy, but it was canceled along with the $5,000 reward for finding him earlier this week. This is because they have suspected foul play in the situation. On Friday, August 22nd, just over a week after Emmanuel was reported missing, both Rebecca and Jake Harrow were arrested on suspicion of murder. As of right now, we do not have any information on why they presume that Emmanuel is dead. His body has not yet been recovered, but it is believed that Emmanuel is no longer alive. The investigators no longer believe that Emmanuel was abducted, and this is due to the inconsistencies in the couple's stories, and the evidence that they have found along with witness statements are just not adding up to an abduction. They do have a history for concern being Jake's priors, so probable cause for foul play is definitely more fitting at this moment. If Emmanuel had been abducted, then the police would have found evidence supporting that. So this case is now being treated as a homicide investigation. Over 100 people gathered for a candlelight vigil on Friday, just after the couple Rebecca and Jake were arrested for murder. Rebecca said she was outside of the Big Five when it happened, so there should be some camera footage in the surrounding area to support the claim of abduction. The police have never found any surveillance footage of Emmanuel actually being abducted at this time, but it's recently been revealed that the mother, Rebecca Harrow, is the sister of convicted Palm Springs killer James Bushin. Back in 2017, Jalen Keith was found dead in a bathtub with a gunshot wound. Rebecca's brother, James, allegedly murdered his girlfriend, Jalen, and staged the whole scene to make it seem like she took her own life. James was convicted for this and is currently serving 50 years in prison. So this family has a very disturbing history of violence, and there's no wonder why the community wouldn't support them at this point. It's very valid for the police to arrest Jake and Rebecca. I think they are far from innocent. And as of August 23rd, some of the family members stated that they actually haven't seen baby Emmanuel in over a month. And it's from my understanding that some of the floorboards in the family home of Jake and Rebecca have been removed because of possible bloodstains on them. If Rebecca and Jake are actually guilty right now, Rebecca having that black eye on her face means that she may have had somebody punch her in the face to make her story more believable. We will have more developments in this case soon, but as of right now, that's all we have. The couple is due to be in court sometime next week, and we will find out then if they will be set for a bail. Right now, it's just suspected that Emmanuel is no longer alive, but there is still a possibility that he could be found. So we still have some hope for that. Later on in the week, we will hopefully have some more updates, and hopefully we will recover Emmanuel. That's all for today's video. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let me know what you think about this case. And as always, subscribe to the channel so you never miss any of my future content. And hopefully I will see you on the next disturbing video.